Okay, and we are live. Sorry about the delay there. It's already been 5 minutes. I'm sorry. Um, Tried to get everything ready to go. I'm still working on trying to get things like right away. Um, so you don't have to wait too long. But welcome to this live frenzy hangout. Um, and as we like to call everyone here, frenzies. And by the way, I'm also a nerd, so if I call you a nerd, I'm calling you. You're part of the group here. um, so none of your business or none of your business. Welcome, and again, sorry about the late reply on your comment there. I actually didn't even know that I had a comment until actually my moderator told me a couple days ago, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'll get around to it. But been really busy. Um, but what we're going to do today is some masking. But I got to do a shameless plug promo for my own stuff here because we're going to be using this in the situation today. Let me make there we go. Make myself a little bit brighter, and then we can pull this down here so that you can see. So I put some links in the notes. This is for my Blendinator course. Now, it is outdated a little bit. For it's made for Blender 3.6. I haven't really tested it in 3 or 5.0, but I I don't really think that the course itself is contingent upon the how like the updated versions. Like it's still the same concepts, and it's just head tracking in Blender. So, and I want to change these, and you'll actually see why in this live stream. But I want to change these pictures because of the background. This is what we're going to kind of do today: is remove the background. But this is what it entails, and essentially you get the skull. I modeled this skull myself, and you get the skull in the course. It is now well, it's actually, well, it says 35 there, but that's not right. Let's see if I can refresh this. Yeah, there we go. Okay. It was originally 75, but since it's outdated, I'm marking it down to 40. And you will also get, if you do decide to get the course, it will be, I'll give you another promo. Actually, I should have probably put that in the description too, but it is early bird. Let's see if I can change that here real quick. I don't even know if I can. Stream settings, edit. Can I do that while I'm live? I think I can. Okay. Coupon. Early Bird 2026. And the reason I'm calling it Early Bird 2026 is because Superhive, it's also on Superhive, which is aka Blender Market. But anyway, what you'll learn is how to set up your shot and mark your face for tracking, and then pull that into Blender, track it, so that it follows your head. And then with a whole bunch of different tips and tricks for compositing, it'll look like there's skin, like negative space. So you're going to create negative space so it looks like it goes in. The modern day prosthetics in just special effects, like actual tangible stuff that you put on your body, can only go out. But visual effects, you can actually make it look like it's going into your body like this. And so we got marker removal. It's the whole shebang. So that's on blenderfrenzy.com/b/blendinator, or on Superhive at superhivemarket.com/product/blendinator. There you go. Shameless plug. But we're going to actually talk about masking. And thank you about the nice work on the model. Thank you. I appreciate that. I took my famous skull series, just a regular human skull, and I just adapted it for that one, for the metal skull. which by the way is also I should actually let's do that too. Um, gonna go to YouTube. Let's do Blender Frenzy. um, so I have let's see here. I have okay. So here's the skull. This is one of my most popular ones to model a skull, and there's a whole series on that. And masking. I'm gonna just can I search my site masking? So also masking 101 is a playlist series. It's a free playlist series. There are a couple of them that are behind a paywall. They're my part of my membership, but they're more advanced. You can get the full masking 101 for free. Once it gets into like shader nodes or the Fireburn ones, that's more, or like the Portal ones, that's more behind the paywall. But the whole masking 101 is available. And also metal. Well, let's just say skull. So you get the human skull, you got the Terminator skull as a playlist. Oh nope. There we go. Yeah, and then we get modeling, setting up right away, starting to do the aligning your images. So this is like, yeah, I show you how to line up these images exactly, and you can go actually download free these the starter thing. Let's see. Let me go back to my so if you go to downloads on blenderfrenzy.com right here, Metal Skull starting file, you can get that for free. Everything is all set up for you, ready to start modeling. And I've got a couple of other things as well. But okay, so enough of that. Let's get into the actual masking. Oh, let's close. Yeah. Let's see. Definitely watched all available ones. Okay. Well, there you go. Good. There will be more available if you do the early bird discount on my website. It's like, and so it's $40, but if you do the early bird discount, it'll give you it'll make it $30. So it's from $75 all the way down to $30. I know in this economy that's still probably a lot, so I don't blame you if you don't want to, but just saying, there's a lot of stuff in there. You got a lot. I don't know how many. There's like 10 or 11 chapters with a whole bunch of different videos showing you step by step how to make a solid track and do all that compositing. So today, let's open up Blender here. And let's see. Yeah. So show you what we're going to be creating today. I'm going to undo that. So here is my. Oh, I'm sorry. I've got to sneeze. So I'll mute myself. I'll mute myself if I do. But it's tickling. It's tickling. Okay. So I'll just show you the final result here from my promo, which you've probably already seen, but that's a little bit too loud. Let's do 0.3 on that and play. So yeah, that is the final result, what you get in the course. But I'm going to be updating the course actually this week. I'm just going to try to get it by the sale. Super Hive sale, by the way, 25% off is going on Tuesday. It's starting on Tuesday. That's why early bird on my site is 25% off using the early bird 2026. But the reason I'm going to update it, I'm not updating the whole thing. I'm just adding another video that has what I'm gonna show kind of today. Today is just gonna be kind of an overview of like kind of some masking tips and tricks, and a new program, free open source program that does. I'm going to start using so much more, and I'll show you that in a little bit here too. But the reason is because when I made this course, I made it so that people could put their like make themselves the Terminator or any other kind of creature, whatever they wanted to, with their head, as far as like a head tracker, Iron Man, any sort of visual effects you wanted to do with your head in their own environment. So the reason I did it is so that people could have that in their own environment. And this was my apartment at the time. And so I have my Christmas lights up. You can see in the background, I have, stockings right beside me. And I think that doesn't obviously, like when you're promoting it, it doesn't obviously look that cool. Like, what is this? Like, why are there stockings behind, like, there's a Terminator? He's kind of out of place, basically. But the reason I did it was because I wanted you to be able to create it in whatever environment. So basically, in my living room, so I took pictures of which is in the course, how to take pictures and piece everything together, kind of like a 360 degree or HDR, but it's not a true HDR. It's just something for the reflections. And so the reflections you see on the skull are from my actual room. So that was the goal, but I should have taken it a step further, especially for promotional services. So, but in order to do that would have been very painstaking with Blender, which I'll show you today how I would go about doing that with Blender. But then we're going to use a different program that does it like lickety split and very, very well done. So and that is called Sammy Roto, and I'll show you that at the end. But this is the result from Sammy Roto, and it is amazing. And this is just if you look at the final result, that's that bar that goes across there right here. So just ignore that. We're not I replaced that anyway. But what I want to show you here is, like, look at the hair. Like, this is almost next to impossible if you're not on a really well lit green screen. And if you don't have, I was recording from my phone, which doesn't have a very good front camera. I was recording from a front camera as well. So, but look at that, like the eyebrows and the mustache and the beard. I mean, it just really does the trick. And so when you use this as a mask for this, I can actually, and I'll just turn it on here, it cuts it out where I can put anything in the background there. And I did. So the thing that I did was, let's just hide that. I went on Pixabay. I got a couple of stock videos, just one for the background and then one for like embers falling. And then it looks like this. And then I replaced that final result there. And I even had if you can see the flicker. I don't know if you can see that. I like this new playback feature where I can scrub. But you can see a little bit of flicker as if there's like fire in the back or in front of me, like flickering. And then I kept some of those embers there. And that looks so much more cool. And if you're trying to promote a Terminator course, and you have like Christmas stuff in the background, it's like, what is this? But this looks a little bit better. But the background is just again a stock footage, and actually show you that here with one of my other Blender set up. Which one was it here? It's that one. Nope, I need to find it here. That can go away. Bear with me here. I have everything up 11. This is the one that I want. Okay. Yeah, so I was going to show you kind of piece by piece what these are, or how this works. Okay, so here's what the final result, what I have. Again, the text here, the text in this background, if I just hide that, this is the original that didn't mask out very well. So I just replaced it with new text and then just a little bar down there. And then the light flicker, it's just an adjustment layer. And that is using a mask that I set up, the mask highlights, I believe. So this is the mask highlights. I just use the regular footage, and then I put a mask, hue, correct, and curves and stuff on there. So it looks like this. And then I use that for the light flicker, so it only flickers on those areas. And if I take, okay, that is right. And so essentially I just put a little, that's what this curve is here. I put a little noise on the opacity. So that's what creates that little flicker there. And then you just adjust the settings to, how frequently and drastic you want that flicker to be. And then, so if I hide this, you can see then I don't have any of that flicker. And then here are the embers, which again, it's just stock footage that I used, that I manipulated. I scaled and I moved it to where I wanted. And it actually, the embers were originally going up. So I think I mirrored it. Well, it doesn't look like I'm. Oh, maybe I did. Hold on. Is it? No, rotation is. Okay, so maybe these embers were actually going down, but there was some that I played around with where the embers were kind of going up, like from a fire, and I thought, well, we'll try it both ways, and I liked it. I liked it going down more. So it's like ashes from something coming, like post-apocalyptic world. So I got that, so we can hide that, and I did one in the front. So this one is in the front, so it comes in front of me, past my face, and it's the same one in the back. So got that in the back. And I just put that beneath my character here, so I hide that, and so that's what that looks like. And then the adjustment layer. So in my room, it's different lighting, of course. So I just made this. I put an adjustment layer, and on the adjustment layer, I think I have. Well, I don't know. Oh, I see. So this adjustment layer just, I think, affects the background? Why? Huh, okay. Yeah. I did this weird then, because I usually do an adjustment layer, but apparently I just did it. I just put the modifiers directly on the video strip itself. So I'll just disable those. So let's keep the mask though. But see, this is the room. This is and the color balance again. I'm adding a color balance and actually two color balances, so it matches the look that I'm going for. But if I get rid of that, you can see this is my original room lighting. And then, of course, the background. If I hide this, I don't know what that does. Yeah, I don't know what this does because it's all already the same. So I don't know. Maybe I was trying something, and I just forgot that wasn't doing anything anymore. More embers there. I'll hide that, and then of course the factory here. But I put a Gaussian blur on it because when I scaled it up, it wasn't very good resolution. You can see that there. I don't know if you can see. Maybe you can. So that was terrible. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna blur it. And then with me standing in the front, it's fine. So this is what you can do with doing masking like this. And so I'm gonna actually create a new promo video with this, doing this, and then I'm gonna create a new lesson in my course showing you how to do all of this. So again, today it's just kind of bird's eye view. We're not going to go into the nitty gritty, but I do want to start off. Let me check my messages here. Or comments, I mean. Yeah, Justin's system is running on Linux. Yes. Okay. Hello. I got into Blender because I'm trying to find the best video editor on Linux. I have pretty beefy PC, but if the video is not cached, it's pretty much unplayable. Any tips on how to fix this? To be honest, I don't know about like 4K. I don't know if you're editing in 2K or 4K or whatever, but the best solution is proxies. And I can show you that. What? 4K? Okay, yeah. So if you have 4K, yeah. Sorry, my moderator is telling me that to scroll down more and and read more. In the sequencer preview window along the right side, and yep, go to tab and select a proxy. Yep. So none of your business. I like that. I'm just calling you Nunya. It's easier. Nunya says exactly what I was going to say. Do the proxy. It'll and I personally set the proxy at 25% because it creates a very large video. So unless you have the space for 100%, because it's basically going to re-render your video but create a scrubbable video. So it's going to be pretty big. So if you already have a big file, yeah, so you have 4K footage and 50% proxies. Oh, okay. So you're already doing the proxies. I would say 25%. Go to 25% proxies. Are you on 5.2? Previous versions showed a preview image for the strip where it'd be rendering images the whole way. Is there a way to turn those off? Yes. So I don't have them on right now. Right here, if you come over to show overlays, the drop down, you can change your thumbnails, which for some reason it's not even showing the ends. And I think it's just because, yeah, see, if you scroll in like this, it's not going to show much. It has to be a certain size to have the end thumbnails. But I actually don't even like those. You can actually just turn the thumbnails off, which is also a tip to speed up your footage. So Blender isn't calculating the strip images. Let's see. 5.2 changed that. Just might be one image at the start and the end of the strip by default. Yes, off on the menu, top right. Yep. Show overlays. Yep, that's what I said, and I probably should just keep reading before I tell you. But I have 5.2 trying the 25% proxy now. Okay, here's also another thing. If you have a proxy on, let's go to an easier example here. Let's go to this. So I don't know if I have a proxy set up for this one. But if you have a proxy on, I'll set one on this one. I'll set, so you can select multiple video strips, go to set selected strip proxies 25% and set, and it will set that setting for every video strip. So if you have a lot of different cuts and you're like, I want to go make all of them this one particular proxy, you can do it by set selected right there. And then when you rebuild your proxy, after it's done, so mine is at 25%, like I said, you have to come up to your preview and enable it. So if you go to, if you hover over your preview, press N, go to View tab, make sure Use Proxies is checked on, and your proxy size is set. So if you forgot to do this step, what you were probably doing is it was probably still trying to calculate it 100%, even though you had it at 50%. You just had to select it here. So I would try that at 50% if you have a proxy that's already 50%, or if you're going 25, make sure you select 25, because once that happens, it's like butter. Like, honestly, it's so smooth, and it shouldn't lag at all with that proxy if Blender has built that. So that is going to hopefully save you a lot of headache with that. And by the way, I'm coming out with a new video editing series soon, and that is going to be one of the first videos that I have where you can kind of set up your proxies. So stay tuned for that. But this is about masking, so let's go. We're already at a half an hour. We haven't even got into the masking yet. Okay, let's do another one of these. And yes, okay. So this is what I was working on to kind of to show you how you would go about masking in Blender. So I've got this set up. You would use the you would go to File, New, and then VFX, and then this is going to open up your motion tracking workspace. It has a motion tracking workspace like this, which I actually don't even need these, so I'm going to just collapse these into each other, and then it'll by default be on tracking. And I did at the start, I tracked the nose here, my nostril, as my head turned. So I tracked that, and then after that's done, you go to mask, and then you add in a new mask by coming up to your add or Shift A, add in the circle. And it's going to add it where the 2D cursor is. So if you Shift and right click will set that 2D cursor. So if I Shift A, add in a circle, it's going to add it right here, which it didn't. Oh, it's because my mask layer hair top is selected, which is disabled. So I'm going to undo that. Just delete that. And on my main head here, Shift A, add circle, and then you can. This is just like a curve. You can move these around to make your shape, and then you make the keyframes, and then you can turn automatic keyframes on to make it easier, and then you just. Oops. And then you just make this. Shape, and I can actually show you that too, but then you can add I would make the main shape like this, and then I would kind of start adding pieces, so pieces for the neck, pieces for the the torso, pieces for the ears, and the hair top here. This is another piece that I made to go along with that. And then if you come up over to your overlays and just click overlay, and then we can disable these two here so that we can just see that. And then that's what that looks like. And so you can see this is kind of painstaking to do. It takes a long time, and you don't get that hair, you know. And then there is a way to do it. So what I would do after this is, once I have this, then I would kind of make another mask like around the whole head, and then cut out this mask, just leaving the edges. And then I would try to mess with the levels. I would do a black and white matte. I would make the footage black and white, and I would try to do levels so that I could get the background versus this. Now the background is and the foreground is contrasted enough that I think it would work in this instance, so that you can get those finer hairs. But again, it's a lot of work. It's really a lot of work to do that. So that's where Sammy Roto comes in, and we'll get there in just a little bit. But just to real quick show you how to do something like this, I'll just do it. So I'm just going to open up a new Blender. And we'll do VFX, and then I'll get rid of these. And let's save this somewhere. I'll just say live. And let's see, masking. 101. Okay. And before I start, I will read some more. So I dragged in my footage here, and then for track, we'd go up to track, go to set scene frames, and then down here in the timeline, just home, and then we can scrub through this. Okay, let's see. Let's check. 25% almost works. The video mostly runs, but whenever there is a cut, it lags for a second. Ah, yes. Here's another thing to do. While you're cutting, you know what? I'm going to read the rest of it. Okay. That should work fine. If there are modifiers or other things going on, it may cause it to chug, depending. But if not, it's not that it's something else is up. I have a lot of cuts. Okay. And in the meantime, rendering small chunks. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to see if you've said what I was going to say. Okay. While you're editing, turn off prefetch frames. So let me go back to one of my other ones here. Here. No. That's what. Yeah. So if you go to the same panel in here with the N, go to cache, and then uncheck prefetch frames. If you're cutting and it's trying to do prefetch frames, it is going to lag. Prefetch frames should only be used if you have a lot of cuts and it needs to prefetch that while you preview your cuts, already. So let's see. Let me just go back up. Okay, that should work fine. If there are modifiers or other things going on, that also might cause it to chug, depending on other things going on. If it's not that, it's something else is up. Yes. In the meantime, rendering out smaller chunks on the video might be the workaround. Yeah. Stitch them back together after the tweaks are done. Yeah, that's the thing. I just don't know. I don't know about 4K video. And Blender may not handle 4K video right now very well. I'm trying to think. You may be able to, kind of like what Nunya said, you may be able to cut, like, derez in Blender, render the whole footage out, the whole thing out at a lower resolution. I mean, even like it could be even less than 1080p. You know, it could be 1280 by 720, whatever, as a different video. Then go in and edit that, and then but edit it under the name. Like make sure you before you put the lower resolution render in and start editing, rename it to whatever you want the name actually to be, like the file name. And then all you have to do is when you're done editing, rename the lower footage to something else, and then rename the higher footage to what your lower footage was, so that Blender is pulling from the higher resolution. I think if I was having a trouble like you were having, that's what I would do. I would try. I don't know if that's going to work, but that's what I would try. Okay. On the topic of tracking, when I have more trackers and I want to do an average out of them, I saw that there was a way to do it, but anytime one of the trackers got disabled, because is there something else that came after that? For example, okay, here, stop it, Blender. I mean, YouTube keeps popping up stuff in front and I can't see it. Let me go to this. Okay, this is better. On the topic of tracking, so there's a way to do average them, but anytime one of the trackers got disabled because they, for example, went outside of the frame, the average would jump somewhere else. Is there a better way? Isn't that doing exactly the same thing proxies do? Yes and no. I'm guessing if you so I don't know like how proxies work, to be honest, because when I first started video editing in Blender, I was like, what is the point of a proxy if it's just going to re-render out the whole video anyway at a lower resolution? I could do that, you know. But I think it would be worth trying. At least maybe taking a chunk of one of your videos and rendering it out into, you know, what would I do? Let's see, if we go to output, and by the way, this AI upscaler doesn't work. I tried it. That's just a plugin that I tried recently. But we come down here to encoding. If you do like a H.264 in Matroska for scrubbing, and do something like this. Now, I would change perceptually lossless. No, that's right. You want perceptually lossless. You don't want lossless. Lossless is going to give you like 30 gigabytes of information that you don't need. So perceptually, this would be fine, but this would be for scrubbing specifically. But what I would do before this is de-res this and just, you know, like, I don't know, let's go, you know, 720 HD TV 720, you know, whatever. Yeah, 1280 by 720. And you can even half that by doing 50% there. I would see if that gives you any better, like, scrubbing abilities, and just compare it to the proxies. But if the regular proxies aren't working with your 4K footage, then yeah, it's kind of an extra step. It's kind of dumb if that does work and the proxies don't. But That's worth a shot. Um, okay. Okay, I don't quite understand what you're asking about the trackers. Like, when I have more trackers, then I want to get an average of them. I don't know what you mean by that. An average. Are you talking about the solve error? Like the average solve error? Um, the average would jump somewhere else. Um, yeah, there are different ways that you can work around like tracking errors. Um, which, by the way, I go in very great detail in my course. um, oh, this is still playing. I don't want that to still be playing. It's hogging my resources. Um, so I'm just going to go back here real quick because I want to show um, why maybe I have it on here. Yeah, I think I have it at the bottom of this one. Why buy this course? Has more comprehensive lessons than YouTube tutorials, tracks footage with more advanced head motions, not just slight movements like you see on a lot of YouTube tutorials. Like you have trackers that go out of frame and back into frame a lot. Your head motion is greater than just, oh, I'm going to slightly turn my head, and that's how you do tracking in Blender. More fine-tuning options for tracking, masking, and modeling, more debugging techniques to fix tracking errors, and demonstrates more advanced masking and composition workflows. Yeah, so I know it's money, and I know I'm a shameless plug for me making more money, but if you want me to continue free stuff, supporting creators like myself and others is very important. But again, economy, I get it. So, let's see. Going back to masking, let's go to our tracking. Let's track this. So I just pulled this footage in. Now, this isn't automatically the right color space for video, so I'm going to come to my color management and do standard. There we go. And then I'm going to go into the middle here. This is what I did. Started in the middle. This is how I make my first tracker. Control and well, first of all, I change keyframe to previous frame, and then click normalize. And then sometimes I'll do the correlation, but I don't have to worry about a solve error. So I'm not going to worry about the weight and the correlation or the margin or anything like that for this. So then I'll do control click, and then it will give that. I'm going to also turn on the search pattern, and then I'm going to with this here, I will resize it like this so that I can see what I'm resizing instead of just using these sliders. Now with that resized, I can click this button, copy from active track, and then it's going to show my pattern size right there, which I'm going to just do 35 and 100 for clean numbers there. Okay, and then I'm just going to track backwards. And this doesn't have to be that, specific. Which, okay, so it stopped there. So I'm going to make this, let's just say we'll say 160 is our start frame. So I'll say 160 is the start frame. And then actually I know what this is going to be. Once we see this is going to be the last frame. So that's 557. That'll be our last frame. Copy, paste. There we go. Okay. And now I'll just move here and then go track forward. Yeah, sorry. It's okay. Um, we had a little glitch there. I need to maybe close some things here. Um, do we can close all of these other Blender ones. Okay. Yeah, my computer's chugging, so I apologize. Can you hear me now? Check moderator, check. Okay. Okay. Um, good. All clear. And let me know in the chat too if for some reason my computer freezes and then all of a sudden um you don't see me anymore or hear me or whatever. Okay. So I tracked that backwards and forwards, and actually, you know what? That's not too bad, but I'm going to show you what I did with this. Since when I turn my head this way, it kind of slides. And in this case, it's actually not that bad. I could just keep this, but just for the sake of the tutorial or the sake of this, I'm gonna get rid of this from here. So clear those tracking things, and then I'm gonna just create another one here, and then track that forward. And then I'm actually, this is what I did before. I just stopped here. I'll just stop at 350 actually. Just again, this is demonstration. And then we can clear everything after that. So with these two trackers now, I can combine them together by selecting both of them with Shift Select. Go down to Track and then Merge Join Tracks. And now it does a little jump, but that's okay. I am going to fix that jump though, because it should just be from one to the next, but it's doing a little interpolation, like right there. I don't like this one. So I'm just going to bring this up. If I select, if I select this, you can select these individual like markers here. I'm just going to select this and just G to grab that and move that up to align it basically right along the same as that. And what that does is now we'll jump from one to the next. And what happens if I move this one as well? Okay, no, and then the next one's going to go down. Nope, that's fine. So that's what I did. So we'll just save that information. Okay. Now we can come up here to mask and add in our mask. So I'm going to shift right click to put my a circle right in my head. And let's actually find well, this will be a good starting point maybe. Or let's find another one. Find another starting point, like right in where I'm right in the center there, like that. So I'm just going to do this really rough shot because you kind of get the idea. It's just like, you know, if you haven't done curves, it's just like that. So you might have to get used to how to handle curves in Blender. But something like that. And before I animate, what I'm going to do is I'm going to parent this. So there's two ways you can do that. I'll just parent the chin. So I'll just take this this point here, go to mask, and if you don't see this, press N to open that up. Mask tab, and then down here where it says active point, you choose the movie clip, choose the object, which is the camera by default, and then we only have one track, so we're going to choose the track, and then that parents that. So now when I move this, you can see the chin. This one that we selected now moves with that that tracker. However, we want all of them to move. So I either have to select each one individually, do the same thing, or I can just press A to select all of them, then Control, and then make sure that the tracker is also selected, Control P, and now they all should move along with it. And this is going to save us some time when we're masking, because it's going to move along with our head like this. But we still have to adjust the points and stuff too. So I'm going to start at the beginning. Nope. Maybe right here. And it's 175. Well, we're going to start at 175. And so from here, I'm just going to adjust that and just these points. Again, just the main rough shape of my head. Something like that. And then hover over here, press I to create that keyframe. Oh, something has to be selected though. So at least one of them has to be selected. So I keyframe. And if we bring, let's see, I don't need this graph anymore. So I'm going to change this to the dope sheet. And then from the dope sheet, I'm going to change dope sheet to mask. And now we have our mask layer. Now I hate animating masks in Blender because it's very touchy, and it's a lot more restrictive than other places where you animate stuff in Blender. But this is how you do it. So we've got one there, and then maybe right here. Move this, and you know what? I'm going to turn on auto keying so that it will automatically make that key for me. There we go. And so it's going to interpolate between here and there, and then I'll look at it and see if there's any in between that needs to be adjusted, and there is. So this can be adjusted as an in-between thing like this. Okay, and now we have from here to here to here, which is maybe also in between here. That can go in a little bit more. And this is how you do it. And so I'm just going to go then to here. Like I look at the big jumps first, and then and by the way, I am not the best masker or mask animator. So now we have that, and then okay, this definitely needs to go here. But there is something that I want to show you that I think is really useful for masking. Are animating masks here like this. Actually, there are two things. Okay, and then we've got that, and then I'll just force a keyframe there. Okay, and then you see this jump. And remember, that's the jump that we had where we were switching those trackers for the from one nostril to the next. So what I'll do is this is the first tip. So on this one, I put it where I put all the mask where I want it to be. Oop, not wrong one. Okay, and then on the very next frame, I'm going to just have to take it and then slide it over. And then I'll go back and forth between these frames just to see if it's placed properly. And I'm going to just move it just ever so slightly so it matches for the most part. That's good enough. And then let's go all the way to the, no, let's go the quarter. We'll do a quarter here like this. and then we'll do at the end. And again, I'm only doing the main shape of the head. I would do the edges in a different way later. So like that. Now, okay. So if I decide, oh, you know what, I'm actually I want to tweak this a little bit better because maybe I'm scrubbing through here and I don't like how it is at a certain point. Yeah, so like right here, for example. Let me save another iteration here. Let's say from here on, I want this out here. I want to adjust this and I want to make sure that this aligns a little bit better. So we're going to adjust it like this. The problem is now I've adjusted it, or maybe let's say I want to add a feather to it. Feather, actually, I'm going to do feather even though I don't want the feather, but I'm going to show you the feather because it's the most, you'll understand the concept when you see this better. So Alt-S is to feather. So let's say I want a feather like this. Well, what's going to happen both with the movement and with the feather is that I haven't put a feather, or I haven't put that shape of the mask on any of these other keyframes, and I already have them. So the feather is going to disappear for all of them. And so I would have to go to each one of these, do Alt-S to change that again and again and again, or I would have to do the entire thing again, except there is one way that you can get around this, and it is called rekeying. So if I go to the mask tab up here, down here, it says rekey shape points. So what this does is if I double A to deselect all keyframes, I want to select only the keyframes that I want affected, minus the keyframe that's you're referencing on the playhead. So you don't want that selected, otherwise it's not going to work. But I want all of the other ones rekeyed from this shape. So I'm going to say rekey shape points. And now it's going to propagate to that. Now the motion doesn't really work that well because then I'm going to have to like I wonder I'm going to undo that. I'm just going to test something out here. I wonder if I only have, like, let's say this point selected, if it's going to rekey just that. No, come on. Come on, select. There we go. Yes. Okay. This is good. So you can see it keeps the feather just on the point that I selected, which is actually really nice. But you can see it rekeyed all of the other ones as well, or this shape, and it really screwed it up. So I still have to fix that. But what I can do is I can separate them. So I'm going to undo that again. So let's say I want this feather throughout the rest of these. So then I'll select the rest of these like I did. Rekey shape points, but then when this pop-up box comes up, I'm going to uncheck location. So then it will only do the feather. So now the feather stays, except for I want the feather on all of them, so I have to press A, rekey shape points, same thing, just the feather. There we go. Now we have feather on all of them, and we don't have to go through each one of them. Now for the location, I can do the same thing with this location, but I just want it on these three. So I'm just going to select these three, do rekey shape points, uncheck feather, and just add the location. That way, the location should still work. Oh, I probably should do it on this one as well. Rekey shape points. And so you still have to do a bit of finagling with that, but not too much. And there we go. So there you go. So that's the first step. And then what I would do for the next one is just add a mask layer. So I can double click here to rename this. This will be main head. And then I can just add another layer. I'll name this hair top. And then I'll just go and I'll do kind of that same thing again. I'm going to disable all of these. Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep the visibility, but disable the selectability and the render, just so I can kind of see it where this is, so I can place this mask. So let's do another mask here, and then just shape it like that. And then we can combine these together later. And then I'm just going to go to each of the other keyframes and then shape these like this. And I'm not going to do this for the whole thing, but just so you can you kind of understand the concept. Like that, and then like that. And that. And we'll just do one more, this one. Okay. And so now we have the mask like this. And then if we turn on our overlays, we can see what this is doing. Now, I have to click render, make sure that's rendered on these, but now we can see this. And you can see this mask has a feather, this one doesn't. So I can do the same thing if I wanted to. Come to here and do an Alt S for that. No, not Alt D, Alt S to scale that feather out like that. And then select everything. Well, it'll only be down here. So you have the hair tip. This is the one we're working on. So rekey shape points. And I only want the feather. And there we go. So now we can turn those off again. And now we've got feather on that as well. So that is how you would do it in Blender. And then again, you'd have to do the edges separately, which I'm not going to do here because I actually haven't tried it. But we're at over an hour now, which is fine. I figured that this was going to be a little bit longer. I want to show you Sammy Roto 2. Now, I first heard of this. You probably know this guy. His name is Jacob Zirkel. And he does a lot of CG stuff and a lot of Blender stuff. I actually think I bought one of his courses on Udemy. Jacob Zirkel VFX, yeah. So he just came out with this. I'm just want to give him credit because this is how I found out. Let's see about this. Yeah, this one. Free tool makes rotoscoping easy. So if you want an actual like full-fledged tutorial right now that's really quick and easy, 10 minutes, you'll know how to do it. But I'm just going to show you with the footage that we started with here. So it's called Sammy Roto. Oh, I closed that. Okay. Oh no, I didn't close it. I guess I could have restored it. Oh well. I have it bookmarked. So if you go to GitHub, if this right here, I don't know if you can see that, but just search for Sammy Roto 2 GitHub. And it actually is a point and click like masking system. Super easy, you'll see. But you can see they're using Big Buck Bunny here, which is an open movie from Blender from a long time ago. But it's free. It's free and open source. You come here and you download it. And I know this isn't Blender specific. It's a standalone program, but Blender's masking tools are very much lacking. So this is what I would do. I'm gonna pause real quick to see if have I missed anything. I'm gonna ask my moderator how much have I missed. Because there's a lot of chat. Did I lose my moderator? Okay. Okay, good. You work on Blender. That's why I wanted to draw. This is why I wanted to draw my masks in grease pencil. Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, hey, you know what? I didn't even think about that. Grease pencil might be a good alternative for this. Thanks for your feedback. Okay. Oh, no, that was just feedback regarding the sound and visuals. With tracking, there's a whole bunch of deeper settings that can change your solve results before and after tracking. Motion method, normalized camera. Yep. Yep, all that's true. All that is true. Sometimes you can fix a tracker by slightly resizing it and retracking it. Yep, you can do that. Oh, I didn't know about the rekey. Yeah, you're welcome. I was also wondering if there is a way to preview how strip will look while working on the mask. Because the mask timeline always shows starts from 0 unless the strip I want preview is at the start. It shouldn't be, so I'll show you. So let's say you want to. I want to use this mask. I'm going to pull in a video editing here, and then we'll do. I'll just pull in that same footage here. Oh, scene. Yeah, it shouldn't. Set render size. Okay, so if I have my movie and I just add in a mask modifier, I can click mask and just choose my mask, whatever I have. It should be relative to your as long as it you have the same start and end frames, which here I let's see, it would be, yeah, I actually changed that. What was it supposed to be here? This was the end, right? We ended it at 350. So let's put that back at 350. And then motion tracking, is this 175? That should be right. Well, right, 175. Yeah, okay, right. I need the start, or this should be at 1. There. So if we have, and I'm only doing this because when I did my motion tracking, I didn't start tracking from the beginning, and I didn't track the whole thing. This is just a clip. But if you have this clip, if it's from start to end, the same clip, it doesn't matter where you turn it. So for example, let's I'm going to add a marker here, and then at the end I'm going to add a marker here. So now you can see this is the mask that we have, which matches. If I select these two markers and go to marker and say sync markers, and then I move this, you don't need to do the markers. I'm just doing it so that we can say, okay, this is going to be our new start and end frame. But you can see it stays with your footage. It's not absolute here. So if I click absolute, then it's absolute according to the timeline. So it will always be from here to here. But if it's relative, it's going to be relative to your clip, your strip, or whatever you have your modifier on. And so it works wherever you put that. So I hope that helps. The mask clips. You should be able to see the mask working through the sequencer by either using a mask modifier. Yep. Yes, but I'm talking about while editing the mask. Well, yeah. I mean, maybe not entirely in real time, but just pull out another area here and go to the image editor. Mask, and then choose the mask. And then let's see, I just say viewer node. No, that's not going to work. How would I do that? I could actually change this because I have the movie clip editor here. I would just change this to the movie clip editor. And then close these. And then go to mask. And then, well, of course, I'm going to have to move these back here. One, snap. Oh. Actually, I don't. Okay, snap. I don't need these markers anymore. Stupid prefetch frames. I hate that. Okay, so yeah, so now we have this, and get our mask on here, and we also have to enable them. We can work on them like this. So of course I'd probably have to also add in the dope sheet again, the mask. Yep. And so then what I do is I do this, and let's say we want to make another keyframe with our main here. Pulling that over a little bit like that. And then just down here, R to refresh, and there you go. So you have to refresh it. It's not necessarily in real time, but if you make a change, you can refresh and you can see it like this. This is how I would do it. So I hope that makes sense. Might need to refresh the strip. What's the hotkey? Control R. Yeah, another way is hotkey by default in Blender is I think it's Control E. Actually, I've changed it. I'll show you, because I have my own key map. But Blender is for refresh, all Control E. I need to change that back, because I'm going to be lost without my. I'm so used to my own hotkeys. There are ways, but I involve unique kind of setup. That's what I'm talking about. You can't have the mask editor and the preview side by side until it's. It would be cool that if you could, like, if there was a mask modifier here for like the preview, and then you can manipulate your mask within the VSE. I'd be down for that. I'd be down for people for Blender to have that as a new feature. But we want to. Sorry, I didn't want to ignore you guys, and I know I keep saying, "Oh, we're going to look at this now," but keep getting off track. So Sammy Rodo, where did this go? Here we go. We've got Sammy Rodo here. So you can download it for I think it's all you can download for Windows, Mac, and pre-release. Interesting. Oh, here's the latest. Well, at least Windows and Linux. I don't know if it's supported on Mac. It might be. But either way, download it. I can't show you how to install it because you have to just follow in the instructions or look it up. I think I had to look it up on AI, because you have to download dependencies. And depending on your distro and all of that stuff, I can't go over that. So once you get it working, then you can fire it up, and that's what I'll do right now. And it's loading up in my other window here. Give me just a second, and then I'll pull it over. I'm going to start closing some things as well, because this is also going to take up some resources. I hope this is going to be all right. Now I've already done this for this video somewhat. So this is kind of what I was practicing with earlier, but I'll show you exactly how to do it. So you just load your video. I wonder if I can click and drag. I didn't try that. Click and drag. Yes. All right, perfect. Just click and drag video in. It'll load the video and then it will clear everything. It will make a new kind of a new project. And there you go. And then you can play. And you can click show masks, show outlines. There's a lot of stuff that I actually haven't gone over, but you don't actually need to know a lot for this to work really well. So I'll show you the main thing. So the first thing you want to do is set your start and end frames. So like here, I think maybe right here. 177. What did we have at 175? I think it was 175. You see your frame number over here. So I'll do 175, and then I think it was, what, 350? Oh, no, that's because I cut it short. I'm going to go all the way until we see this. And now, hovering over here, I can use the arrow keys to make sure that this is going to be my last frame. And then click this button to set the out. And it's only going to calculate between these two here. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go to the very 175, and then I'm going to just, all you have to do is start clicking. But before I click, come over here. We can see this. We can pull this out a little bit more. I only have one object, but you can put multiple objects in here, so I haven't messed with that. But the more objects you put, you can see that it'll be highlighted in different colors. You can actually, I think. Well, I don't know if you can change the colors. I think it's automatic. But I can name it here, just like, you know, I'll just say Justin as the name. And then it's object 0. That's fine. So I keep everything else the same. There's post-processing here you can do. I've not even had to worry about that. So I'm just start clicking, and you can see it starts filling out different areas here. And you can zoom in and middle mouse to drag. So scroll to zoom in. And yeah, and so that looks good. So I'll do that, and then I'll just go a little bit further, maybe right here, and then I'll start the same process and just start clicking around. And sometimes maybe I'll go like in between, just because you have the skull that's starting to show a little bit, and I want to make sure that I'm getting this proper outline. And you can fix it later if it doesn't work very well. But just go, every few frames, we'll just go. And if you see like a lot of these little artifacts, just put another point. So 2 or 3 points is pretty good here. I do want to make sure that something like this, I'll just put a point here. You can see how it doesn't do a very good job right here. So we just add another point over here to add stuff. And this is just the main shape. This line here isn't what is going to be the actual finished mask. It's just showing like the general area. So like that. And so I'm just going to keep doing this, just going every few frames. I'm just trying to kind of speed through this a little bit. But as much as, as much work as this is, it's a lot less work than what we were doing in Blender. And it gives you, as you'll see, really good results. How are the comments? I'm sorry I've gotten, there's a lot of chatter going on today, which is great. But if you don't want me to spend like 5 hours doing this, then I'm gonna have to ignore all that. By the way, I'm also ignoring this final result. So if you see over here, if I bring this, I wish you could click, but you have to actually go where the playhead is and click and drag it from there. But I'm not worried about this because I'm just going to replace this bar, this final result bar later anyway. So I'm just focused on the body. Okay, another one. And then another one. So when there's more movement, I do, you know, I go fewer frames ahead. But if there's not very much movement, like from from over here, like if I'm just standing there like that, then I'll do a bigger jump. Okay, maybe here. And then at the very end, I'll do it on the last frame. Right here. Okay. And by the way, sorry, I forgot to show you this down here. When you start to add your frames, they add it down here. So if you actually need to go back and find out where your frames are, you can actually just come over here and select it, and it'll jump to that that frame, and it give you the frame number too. So this frame number, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of these on frame 555, and if I select one, you can see it highlights it as a blue outline. Like that. So that's really cool. So I can hop back and forth between these, and I can I don't know if I can move it. Can I move it? No, it just creates another one. Maybe can I delete it? I'll just delete one of these. But you can click one and you can delete it as well. So that's really cool. So now, with all of that done, and you can make sure you also save. You can save your project out if you want. I should probably do it. We'll just say live stream proj, just in case. Okay, creating a backup of it. Okay. Anyway, so we got that. I'm going to go to the beginning, and then I don't think you have to. I think it will automatically do it, but we can come over here and say track objects. So I'm just going to click that, and now you'll see once it decides to do it, hopefully my computer won't crash. You have the tracking in progress. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look at if there are any discrepancies while this is happening. And yeah, oh man, it's really lagging. So if you can't hear me, I apologize. But it's looking pretty good now. I don't see any discrepancies. We did a really good job. I will try to read your comments if you can hear me. Fine. Okay. Okay, moderator says no lags on her end, but we're going through Discord, so. Yeah, I might have to. Oh gosh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with all of this. Nope, not that. Okay, we can actually close this. Okay, good. Can still hear you. Audio's fine. Great, thank you. So, and it's hard since my camera is over here. Whenever I go to read the comments, I have to look look in, and you can't really see, where my head, where it is. Maybe I'll just put them up here. Here we go. I don't care if you see. I mean, you can obviously see them anyway, but I'm just going to do this for now. Grease pencil. This is where it left off. Thanks for the feedback. Oh, got that. Neat. Okay, yep, did that already. Yep, did that. Oh, I see what you mean. Is there an offset in the clip editor? There is involved their own an offset in the clip editor. I think there is a masking offset that you can put, but I haven't had very good luck with that. Or it's confusing, and I don't want to show that because I'm just going to be wasting time trying to figure it out. Okay, I get it now. You would have to manage the offset between the mask and the videos by hand using numbers, which would be painful later to edit. Yeah, again, doing the offsets between the movie clip editor, the masking, the tracking, and all of that stuff, it gets a little funky if you don't. I always try to keep like the frames like the same. To fix the performance issue. I want to know about that. In the view, there is a proxy render size setting, and when you change it, the preview immediately changes as well. So I thought that was it, and was using the proxies, but there's another check mark. Yeah, I don't know if you heard me talk about that earlier. That's what I said earlier. In the preview, there's a preview you have to check your view and proxy render size. You have to choose whichever size you rendered it out, and you have to actually check this proxies. So you have to, in the preview and in the, down here, you have to select it as well. So, yep. Well, I'm glad you found it. And I'm glad that solved the issue. So did that actually solve the issue for you? Where's my... Okay, yes. Fix the performance issue. Good. Excellent to hear. Can you still... Okay. Proxy... I have no idea how it's working, but I can set the proxy render size to 100%, and by setting the use proxy to true, I have no lag. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Good. Good. Okay, now, so we have got... let's pull this back over here. We've got Sammy Roto. So this is done for the tracking. So that's your tracking. So now if we scrub through this, we can also check. And what I'm checking for is any artifacts, anything that might be causing an issue, like on the head or around the skull or the eye or wherever. And it looks pretty good. So once you have that, all you have to do is come over to the matting tab. And I don't do anything except for click, well, yeah, I think I just keep internal resolution is fine. I'm just going to click run matting, and this is going to chug again, and it's going to do running that matting process. But you can see, I don't know if you can see because I can't zoom in right now, but you can see it's calculating the hairs as well with the mat. So this is going to take another few minutes to compile, but that's it. And I mean, this brings hours of work down to minutes. Really, the longest thing that you're going to have to worry about is the processing time, which takes, again, like maybe I would say, what was that, 5 minutes? 3 to 5 minutes. So while this is rendering, if you guys want, I can focus now on some of the chat if you have any other questions. And I apologize for being this being a little bit clunky. Yeah. Now that I can focus on it, they're all done. Let's see. And yeah, welcome. And I do apologize for only getting around to the Sammy Roto till now. But, you know, got to do my plugs, got to do, you know, for my promos, for my website, which, by the way, if you're just jumping in, and also got to look at the comments too. So that's your engagement helps me to like kind of solve issues and see what you guys want to talk about, and I'm totally up for that. So that's also a part of why it takes so long to get around to things, and I don't mind that. I just, for your sake, I just know that I'm very wordy a lot of times, and people have criticized my tutorials for being a little bit too verbose. So and then but what was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to go to, hopefully this is going to be all right. Oh no, that's probably not. Oh no. No. Yeah, I can't click on anything. I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't click on anything. I just have to wait till this is. Oh, sorry, I wasn't talking. Yeah. Whew. Okay. Sorry, I lost. So I think we're back. BlenderFrenzy.com, which I'm also in the process of updating the website as well, because it's kind of, it's kind of out of date. But anyway, go to the course, take a look, and yeah. So this is comprehensive head tracking in Blender. Bear with me for those who have been here for the whole stream, but for those who are new, get started, no hassle, no money needed apart from the course, obviously, which is marked down today from 75 to 40. And then the promo code, which is in the description, I think, is early bird 2026, and you get another 25% off all the way down to 30. So marked down from $75 to $30. The Blendinator will help you get started right now with VFX in Blender, turning yourself into the Terminator or any other character by tracking your head in Blender, adding awesome CG elements using only free software. So no money needed apart from the course, no 360-degree camera needed, no fancy equipment, no plugins, no fancy phone apps, step-by-step from start to finish, create something like this. And these are going to be replaced. These pictures are going to be replaced with a cooler background. I'm going to be updating my my course for that. But you get the skull. I modeled this metal skull myself, the Terminator skull. See, nerd. You're a nerd like me. $40. Nope, that's not right. Oh no, that is right. $40, but plus the promo code earlybird2026, you get it for 30. Another $10 off. And here's all the stuff that is going to be in here. I go over how to set up your scene, how to track, put stuff on your face for good tracking. We can paint in our wounds to reveal the skull beneath our head. And what's good about visual effects or VFX is that you can make negative space, meaning it looks like it's going into your head. With prosthetics and real world special effects, it can only build on top of it. So that's it. And I'll show you also how to recreate your environment, which in this case was my apartment complex, or my living room in my apartment. So that's why you see the Christmas stuff and the stockings and stuff, because I don't even think it was Christmas time, but I just never took them down. But I had them up for Christmas, and my moderator is saying that's correct. But anyway, this is for the reflections. So you get proper reflections, and then I go in advanced, what do you call, marker removal. Stuff that I've not seen anybody talk about when it comes to marker removal, especially removing really hard to remove markers. Then we go projection mapping. And that's also, projection mapping is also basically for this, where you do image manipulation, and I show you how to take pictures and recreate your environment from that. At least a very simple, like it's just a simple box, so that you can have somewhat accurate reflections. But then we go over like projection mapping and F-Spy and all of that stuff for a lot more real world type stuff, where you can start to build out your furniture, desks and couches and stuff, so that if you have CG elements in your footage that go closer to your furniture, then the reflections will do realistic, will look a lot more realistic. And again, why buy this course? It has more comprehensive lessons than YouTube tutorials, more advanced head motions. It has more fine-tuning options for tracking, masking, and modeling, and more debugging techniques to fix tracking errors. So there you go. That is my plug while this finishes. Okay, so it's done, and now we can scrub through and look at it, and we do see a couple of issues. So I didn't catch this right here. So on frame, like starting at frame 395, my head disappears. So what I would do is just go back to the segmentation and find that 395. Yep. And so for some reason, don't know why, this disappears. So we just click and we start adding more here. And then I just kind of go back and forth and just see what that, I think there was like a couple holes like right there. So right here too, when this comes out around 520, here I just add in some points, and maybe also just a few frames later. And then what I would do is you would retrack it, so track objects again, and then you would do the run matting again. I'm not going to do that because it takes a while and it bogs down my system, but I already have one. And so after you're all done with your mat, just go to File and you can say Export Video, and then it will export the video of, let's see where, Experience Sony Roto, renders, yeah. And so it exported Oh, no, that's not right. Where did it export it at? Up, up. Ah, here we go. So then it exports the whole video, not just where you started masking, but it exported the whole video. And so this is that export that I was practicing with earlier. Now you can see that on some of the outline, it's still not perfect. And I would probably go in and try to fix some of that, where it kind of messed up a little bit. Oh, okay, it's not scrubbing really well. It's okay. It's in my Blender, one of my Blender things here. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Nope. Yes. So it's just an MP4 file. Oh, I don't want that. Hide. Okay. Yeah. And so it's not perfect. Let's go 100% here. I go. Let's. All right. Am I back? Am I back? Oh gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Blender. Okay. Yeah. Blender crashed. A lot of memory hogging. Anyway, I think it's better now. But all that to say, what I was saying is, like, you can see over here, it's not perfect. So you can even mix your own masking, doing what we did at the beginning with making the splines and the curves and stuff. So you can mix the masks together to make a really good result. But I got a really good result with this one anyway. Like this. I mean, aside from that, that would probably be the only thing I would clean up. But you don't really even notice it. So when you have this, and it looks so much more Terminator-esque. And it only took me, like I said, maybe, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes tops for all of that masking. So I'm definitely going to be using this a lot more in the future. And I'm going to be adding this lesson, obviously a little bit more short lesson, to the course, showing how to do that so that you can replace the background with that cool kind of stuff. So anyway, I think we're at the end now, and it's been almost 2 hours. So thanks for sticking with me if you did. Okay, let's tutorials have been helpful. Projection back. Homography. What is homography? If you're still here? Doing touch-ups on masks still worlds quicker than doing a whole thing, especially tight to the subject. Yes. Yep. So Sammy Roto is awesome. Stream might have died. Thank you very much. Appreciate you sharing your time with expertise with us. The pitfalls of having it. Yeah. So I don't know if are we even still live? Okay. Are people still on? I don't even know. I had to shut this down. Okay. Let's go to my live. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to look. You know what? I'll just do that right now. Homography. Not heard of that. Homography. Computer vision. In the field of computer vision, any two images of the same planar surface are spatially related by homography, assuming a pinhole camera model. Is a 2D geometric transformation that relates two planes in different images. Okay. So essentially like skewing a 2D image with the illusion of perspective. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I did. That's what I do in my course. Let's see if I have a GIF, not a GIF. I can't believe I said that. Of it. I don't know. I don't know if this is so this one here up here is a that's what I was doing. I was doing in Blender. So it's kind of like what you would do in Photoshop or GIMP. And I did show a portion of that in GIMP, but you can actually use planes to skew your image to kind of line it up. So I was matching this top picture with this bottom picture. And you can make one new picture by doing this in Blender with the camera and then just lining the camera up and then taking a snapshot of that. And then that's what and then you paint, you can paint them together. I'll show you how to do all of that. So you can create one cohesive, picture of one of your walls with multiple images. So that's essentially what this is doing, the homography. Ooh. Also probably for tracking too. So you can see like it's matching the points, like the top left corner to the top left corner when the picture is moved. So that's probably what goes into like tracking stuff. Yes. Oh my gosh. I played around with this too, like taking two pictures and trying to stitch them together in 3D, like overlapping like this. Like I've actually practiced with this in Blender to make it look, because I've been trying to do my own like 360 rendering in Blender with multiple photos, like photo stitching. It's fairly complicated, but it's cool. It's cool if you can actually get the effect that you are going for. And I actually might read some of this to see if I can get any ideas to translate that into Blender. So, okay. Anyway, we are at the 2-hour mark almost. And so I'm going to say goodbye and good night for now. Thanks for joining. I hope this was helpful. There was a lot of chatter, which is great. I hope there'll be even more as we keep doing these live streams. But that also means I'm probably going to eventually have to only pick a few out to comment on. But that is okay. That's a good problem. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend wherever you are in the world. What is that saying? Is that Truman Show? Good morning, good night. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Is that? Anyway. But yeah, so good morning, good afternoon, and good night wherever you are. And let's see if I can end the stream properly here.